Today on Focal Point, we're going to learn what it's like to host Show Off, the new CCP TV quiz show with the college's Director of Professional Development, Jocelyn Sirkis. Find out what students think about vampires in popular culture and what students think about the crisis in the Ukraine. Stay with us. Hello. Welcome to Focal Point on CCP TV, the educational channel of the Community College of Philadelphia. I'm Darlene Monts, a student in the Communications Arts curriculum here at CCP. Today we have a very exciting program. I'm here with Show Off's host, Jocelyn Sirkis. Hello, Dr. Sirkis, and welcome.
Thank you for having me, Darlene.
Please tell us what Show Off is about.
Wow, Show Off. We say that Show Off is an academic quiz show, and that's an important distinction. We don't like to talk about it as a game show, but as an academic quiz show. Show Off focuses on student learning and student knowledge, and it's an opportunity for students to really show off, that's where the name comes from, show off what they know and what they've learned in their courses. Each of the episodes focuses on a different academic discipline. So, see if I can remember them. We had English and history, we had a physics and math show, we had music, art, one on world religions, and each of them focused on questions that students might encounter in their 101 type of class. In addition, we didn't just offer one-word answers. So it wasn't like I asked you a question, yes, you got the answer right, and we were done. Instead, we gave a bit more information. And the idea there was to entice viewers to look at the academic discipline and to think about, wow, that's kind of interesting. And I think that probably if we succeeded at putting together a good show, it would be if people actually watched the program and then went and Googled something or started looking something up and then started thinking, you know, that's pretty interesting. Art's a pretty interesting topic, or biology's an interesting topic. Art, math, science, English. So it was a lot of fun.
Wow.
And we focused on students. Students were the contestants.
Why did you first get involved?
Well, actually at first I wasn't sure that I wanted to. The director of the station had asked me a few times, and I thought, maybe he's flattering me. But he was pretty persistent about wanting me to get involved with this. It was hard to arrange time, hard for a lot of people. And we spent a good summer working on the logistics of how we were going to work this, how we were going to get students involved, how the play of the quiz show would work. Wow. And in the end, I think we were all very happy with the product. You know, it was a wonderful experience.
How is a quiz show different from managing an administrative department?
I don't think that it necessarily is. They both take a certain amount of tact, persistence, and importantly, they take a lot of people, because when you're managing an academic department, when you're managing a department at the college, I shouldn't say an academic department, any department at the college, you need to relate with people from other areas, and you need to depend on them. And Show Off was not a one-person venture. Wow. It took a crew of people, students and CCP employees working on it, and that's how it came together.
Were there any challenges?
Yeah, there certainly were. At first, I think we underestimated the amount of time that it would take to come up with good questions and good answers. And I was working very intensely with our student producer. And she and I were working on putting together questions, and we got them from other people as well. In some cases, went to academic departments. But what we discovered was that what we thought would only take maybe 10 minutes to write a question and come up with a good answer, to have some detail, it was taking us 30 minutes, 40 minutes, maybe more. In fact, I brought an example
You
to
did?
show you. And I'll tell you why it took a long time.
Okay,
It's
tell me.
because things that you think are facts and you think, okay, well, I'll just go look up this answer and
Okay.
I'm going to get it right, and I'll include a little a paragraph about it that we'll talk about on the show. What we found was that there's a lot of disagreement about facts. So, for example, here's a book called The Enjoyment of Music. This is a textbook that's used here at the college.
Okay.
And we were working on an art show, actually. But
Okay.
in this book, what you'll see is they have a picture here of a famous painting. It's in the Louvre. Delacroix's Liberty Leading the People is shown in this book. And they describe this as a painting of the French Revolution, when in fact we know that it's a picture of the July Revolution.
Yes.
And so when we would look at facts and we would try to find the true answer, very often we'd visit different websites. We did a lot of our research on the web, some of it in textbooks, but we wanted to vet everything. We thought the worst thing that could happen is people will call the station and tell us we got the question wrong, you know, and we didn't want that to happen, whether we got the answer wrong. We really didn't want that to happen at all. We wanted to be as right as possible. Unlike other types of productions, professional productions, where you may have legions of people vetting answers, here it was really just a few of us. And making sure that we had the answers right was a real challenge.
Wow. What is it like watching your own TV show? Tell me.
Well, I feel that I'm somewhat fortunate that I live outside of the viewing area for Show Off, because this way I don't have to worry that I press the channel and see myself. I think for anyone, I would be surprised if anyone would say that they're comfortable looking at themselves on television. But I will tell you this, it's such a pleasure seeing the students. And I think the students look great and they're so smart. And I watch them and I see them answering those questions. And I say to myself, how did you know that? How did you get that right? I thought that was a question that was going to stump you all. And I'm surprised when I find that they got it right. And watching that again and again is really a thrill. The students were terrific.
Do you think it's a beneficial program for students to tune into?
Oh, absolutely. For the reasons that I explained earlier. I think it piques people's interest in different subjects. You know, I learned a lot because certainly I didn't know everything going in. It's easy when you run a quiz show, it's easy to look like you're all knowing. But of course, we had to research the questions and the answers. And there were a couple times, in fact, while we were corrected on them, even while taping the show. But it gave me exposure to all these different disciplines, and I think it gives viewers a chance to learn something about different disciplines. The students who appeared on the show, the one thing that I found was so interesting was that they would, at the end of it, come up to us and say, that was so interesting. You know, I learned so much from it. And hopefully it intrigued people. Hopefully it got people to start thinking about different academic disciplines, and maybe, like I said, start doing some research, start looking at areas outside of what they're studying.
Are you interested in doing another season?
I would love to do another season. It was so much fun. It was a lot of work, but you know what? The students are terrific here at the college. They were good sports when they got the wrong answer. They were terrific when they got the right answer. It was always exciting to see. They played well. They thought strategically about their point values and about what they were going to do. And so it was just a pleasure. And a pleasure to work with the people from Multimedia Services who really worked hard on it.
Be sure to catch up on Show Off before the new season airs by subscribing to our YouTube channel at CCP TV 53. Once there, you'll find 8 episodes of Show Off so far, along with full episodes of other CCP TV programming. Thank you for joining us, Dr. Sirkis.
Oh, thank you so much for having me. It's been fun.
We're looking forward to a new season.
Well, thank you.
Are vampires blood-sucking monsters or fantasy heartthrobs? Find out what pop culture has done to the classic horror icon.
I think vampires are pretty cool. They're very mysterious.
Everything about them. They live the nightlife, sleep all day, they do what they do at night.
They're very witty. They have speed, agility, strength.
I love their ability to be super fast, very strong, have the ability to mesmerize people to go to them so they can make the kill.
More something to be afraid of in an urban tale and something that people wouldn't talk about too much. But now it's really just more of a pop culture thing.
They gotten a lot cooler now. It's like the in thing now. Even though vampires are always cool, I guess they got more popular with certain things like Twilight.
I like Edward because he's more of a calm vampire. Even when he's fighting, he seems calm.
Twilight made vampires bad, real bad. You're supposed to burn in sunlight, not glow and become beautiful and fall in love with a human.
Back in the old days when you used to see a vampire, they was all like strong looking, masculine, like their face was very intimidating.
It could walk into a room and manipulate everything manipulate everyone in that room to do whatever they please.
They either evolved or they become this superhuman being.
I think the best vampire movie would have to be
Wes Craven's Vampire in Brooklyn.
Vampire in Brooklyn by Eddie Murphy.
Two of them. There's Queen of the Dam and Interview with a Vampire. Those are my two favorites. Like, it's just the scenery, the music, the costume play, like the character selection. It was just, oh man, it was amazing. Like,
My best friend is a vampire.
Wow, wasn't that interesting? Let's hear what the college community is thinking this week. The crisis in the Ukraine.
I feel the crisis in Ukraine should be left to the Ukrainians and the Russians.
Anytime any country goes into another country by force, which from what I understand, it's sort of, kind of by force, it's not a good thing. However, I hear that a lot of the Ukrainians feel that it's a good thing because now they can take advantage of some of the benefits that Russians now have that they don't.
Well, the crisis in Ukraine is a crisis that America has to address.
They voted to see whether or not the Ukrainians want Russia to actually stay in there, but the only reason that the vote came up, the fact that they want Russia there, is because only the people who supported Russia came to vote.
Crimea historically has always been a Russian enclave in Ukraine. So realistically, I don't think that Crimea is going to be returning to Ukraine.
I think that the entire country should have voted whether or not they would let Crimea go.
I think America's involvement should be what it is right now. I don't think it would be in America's interest to intervene militarily. The sanctions and what the European Union is doing is probably the best approach right now.
I think like U.S. should take over and save Ukraine because I know what happens to my country, and I don't want like those poor kids to be in genocide like I've been through.
Someone should step up and kind of get them out of there.
America should have no involvement in Ukraine and Russia's diplomatic solutions because it is their country.
I don't know if we want to start a war over it, but I do think that something more than just financial sanctions should be put into place.
Sometimes money is nothing. It's like it matters more the life than the economy or the money.
I think that America should try to be the diplomatic one in the crisis, to try to get people to mediate with each other and come to terms.
You got to think carefully about all the ramifications of any kind of action.
Well, that's it for today. I would like to again thank Jocelyn Sirkis for being our guest today and the viewers for tuning in. You have been watching Focal Point, the Community College of Philadelphia student magazine show here on CCP TV. All segments for Focal Point are produced by the students in the digital video production curriculum. I'm Darlene Monts, a communication arts student here at CCP. See you next time.